This is great. It rumps along at a right old pace. Hello, welcome to NBR Feature Films. I am Neil and this is my review of Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 1. Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 1 is a Western film, released by New Line Cinema through Warner Bros. Pictures. The film was directed by Kevin Costner from the screenplay written by John Baird and Kevin Costner, based on a story by John Baird, Kevin Costner and Mark Kasdan. It was produced by Kevin Costner, Mark Gillard, Howard Kaplan, Glenn Klichowski and Jamie Neese. Executive producers are Barry M. Berg, Armian Bernstein, Mark de Beauvoir, Rod Lake, Charlie Lyons, Danny Pakoff and Robert Scannell. The production company listed is Territory Pictures. Cinematography was by J. Michael Mura and the film was edited by Miklos Wright. The film stars Kevin Costner, Sienna Miller, Sam Worthington, Jenna Malone, Owen Crowshoe, Tatanka Means, Ella Hunt, Danny Houston, Colin Cunningham, Scott Hayes, Tom Payne, Abby Lee, Michael Rooker, Will Patton, Jim Lau, Georgia McPhail, Douglas Smith, Roger Ivans, Hayes Costner, Luke Wilson, James Russo, Jeff Fahey, John Beavers, Jamie Campbell Bower and Giovanni Ribisi, even though he's only seen for a few seconds. The music was from John Debney. I watched it here in the UK at the Everyman Cinema in the city of York. Now, the film follows 4 separate stories. Basically, they all seem to be heading towards the town of Horizon, hence the name. Now, one story is about the survivors of an attack on a settlement by Native Americans. Another one is the hunt of a group of men to hunt down the Native Americans responsible. Another story is about a wagon train presumably heading towards that town. And finally we have Kevin Costner's character, who is a horse trader, so he says, but he kills a man believing that the man is going to harm a young boy. So presumably at some point they will all meet up. At the time of recording this, the first film's only been out for a few days, and obviously Chapter 2 is due out towards the end of next month, and they're currently shooting Chapter 3. I believe it's supposed to be a 4-part series. Now this first chapter is very well acted, even though I've only listed, I've listed quite a few actors, but according to IMDb there's like 99 listed. Some of whom only have small parts, some have a few speaking parts, etc. But at 3 hours and 1 minute, obviously there will be a lot of people in it, especially, as I said, it follows 4 separate stories. The sound quality is great and it's not overpowering. It was quite loud in the cinema where I saw it. It was a 55-seat screen. It was very good though. It wasn't overly powering, the music was great. It was all fantastic. Visually, it was absolutely wonderful. Again, some colours, some mostly muted as for the time period. Obviously, there's the blue of the cavalry soldiers, etc., and some dresses by the women, but mostly it's the standard Western muted colours. Now, as I said, it's 3 hours and 1 minute, so I was expecting some slow, static shots of characters in the middle distance slowly moving along on horseback, so we get to see lots of this landscape, or we'd have a very slow pan with huge vistas, absolute fantastic shots, but it wasn't really like that. I expected lots of things like that in order to slow down the pace, but the pacing was very fast. There's lots of action, lots of story, as I said, 4 different ones going along at once, so it does hurtle along at right romping speed. unfortunately, and this is my only criticism about the film, characterization suffers as a result. Now, I'm not saying there isn't any characterization whatsoever. There is some, but not of the characters I was expecting. So it is possible that we get to see more characterization because it is part 1 of 4, and I hope we do, because while we do care about the characters that we see on screen, we don't get that really in depth and care about what happens to them as such. I mean, yes, to a certain extent, obviously, because the acting is top quality, and some of the characters you just really don't like, but you're not supposed to. So hopefully we'll get a bit more in-depth for the second chapter. Now, contrary to what some critics say, I think this is great. I think it's an absolutely fantastic film, quite possibly Costner's best one to date. As I said, the only criticism is the characterization, which hopefully we will see in Chapter 2. If you like this video, please click like and consider subscribing. I've been Neil for NBR Feature Films, and thank you for your time watching.